This is John from John's Hot Air Balloon Rides, where everything is hot, 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 and will toss you in a basket and blow you up. And I'm here to present episode 8 of Shoot from the Hip podcast. There's nothing more soothing than listening to podcasts at 3,000 feet in the air. Sit back and relax and enjoy one of my favorites.
All right, hipsters, we have a special treat for you local listeners to the show. We have a new show sponsor to present to you. As we are rapidly approaching the warmer weather, the need to treat yourself to something cool and refreshing will become insatiable. What better way to satisfy your desire for sweets than with a Hawaiian Shaved Ice? Paradise Hawaiian Shaved Ice in Suwanee, Georgia has partnered with us to give our listeners a 15% off code to use when they visit. Use the code SHOOTFROMTHEHIP for 15% off your total. Try it today at 2855 Lawrenceville Suwanee Road in Suwanee, Georgia. Again, it's Paradise Hawaiian Shaved Ice in Suwanee, Georgia. Use the code SHOOTFROMTHEHIP for 15% off your total today. Welcome to Shoot from the Hip podcast. We are back, better than ever. Well, actually, I don't know about that. Are you guys better than ever?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Friday, so
Gotta get better every day, man. That's what we do.
in case you're listening on maybe a Monday, Tuesday, Sunday, I don't know. Podcast normally drops every Monday. We're recording this on Friday.
If you're listening on Sunday, you're boosting some
You
of our
are
bad
legit
stats.
awesome if you're listening on Sunday before this drops. Anyways, we wanted to start off today and maybe go over a little bit of the results from some of our previous drafts on Twitter. And let's start from the last one that we posted, which is which word is the worst?
Oh, I like starting with that one. That's a
And
good
we're
one
going to
to
start with this one because it makes Lancer feel good.
Yeah.
And in this poll, we had several votes. Looks like Lancer, his word comes out with the most votes. Pretty resounding victory.
Right.
58% for the word irregardless. That's not actually a word, so it doesn't technically qualify, even though it qualifies. It's so weird how you
Counts
pull
as a
that off.
slang
Right.
word. But,
Right. Well, all I got to say is I'm just happy I broke the second place barrier finally.
Yeah.
Got over that hump.
Yeah.
You've
got
been
my first
very,
win.
very average for a while, so
Yeah.
it's good to finally get that dub.
Yeah.
Good to get up there.
And then second was titillating,
Yes.
at 34%,
Yeah,
which
it
was mine.
still makes me feel gross when you say it. But
Titillating's a great. It's
It's a weird word.
there's a
It's
reason
weird
why I said it was the worst.
yeah.
It's on this list for a reason.
Makes you feel a little weird.
Bringing up the rear, though, with the 8% vote is tapioca.
It's because
Now-
people like tapioca.
That's not because people like tapioca.
You don't know that.
There is a hipsters send a message out.
Tapioca is delicious.
Disgusting, and most everybody in the world knows that except for Matt, and only the people that have eaten his dad's like super awesome
Yeah.
tapioca.
Yep.
But here's why I lost this. Is
Lancer
because
just doesn't know what tapioca
I don't,
is.
I'm just lost over here.
it's
guys.
pudding with boogers in it. We've already gone over this. So I feel like the reason it did so poorly in this draft was the amount of letters. Like, it's an easier word to say, and titillating and irregardless. First of all, irregardless isn't a word, but those are like super long in comparison to tapioca, and tapioca is easy to pronounce. Even though I don't like the word, I don't like saying it. I don't like tapioca in
So
general.
you think the longer the word,
I
the
think-
more successful
I
it
think
would
if
be?
we would have picked a little longer word for me, I think I would have been able to
What if
compete
we
with-
had
I'm not
put-
saying I would have won, but I think the results would have maybe been a little bit more even.
What if we would have put a pianist in there?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I actually
Yeah,
think
'cause that
you
one
would have
with the-
done better with titillating,
Yeah. Well, and I picked titillating for a reason.
because I think the spelling of the word when you're reading it,
yeah,
it's different. This one nobody actually says,
yeah.
or they shouldn't.
Right.
So there's that.
I think I heard somebody say it not that long ago, and I was like, "Yeah, no."
Did you
stop.
smack them? Did you
No,
go up and be like,
I think it was in a recording or something like that. Like it was like a politician said it or something, which makes it even worse.
like a podcast recording?
Not getting your
All right. Next one. If we move down the list here, we have the fast food draft results.
Yes.
And I'm not gonna lie, I feel really good about this one because I won, but also because
you should feel bad about
I
it.
took tons of heat for how
crazy.
so stupid. Your picks are so stupid.
Your picks were the worst of all
They-
of
they
us.
really were.
They
I
were
don't-
terrible.
Okay, you didn't like
Okay,
one pick, in all fairness.
That's true.
But Chick-fil-A was the clear number one. We all knew that.
I'll give you Chick-fil-A, yeah.
Culver's is amazing.
Culver's is good.
And when it comes to subs, I think speed, that you're going to get it, quality, all things aside, and availability. Although, Matt, you picked Jersey Mike's, which I love
Yeah.
Jersey Mike's.
I got Five
I think
Guys
that people
in
don't
And
know
Five
about
Guys-
Jersey Mike's as
Or sorry,
much, though.
Firehouse. I had
And Firehouse is really, really good.
Yeah, we all had a sub in there.
We all had a sub in there, but I think Jimmy John's is the most ubiquitous.
Yeah, well, and I think that more people know about Jimmy John's
Yeah.
more so than Jersey Mike's. Jersey Mike's, I feel like it's a little less.
Jimmy John sells itself really well
Yes.
too. The marketing's really good for it,
Yeah.
and the food's really good. So I think plus Starbucks, you can't compete with it in the coffee sector. And as much as we gripe about this, look,
food.
Right.
it is. They do serve food,
And it sucks.
and the food is not that good. Although, actually, I've had some people come up and be like, have you ever had this there? I'm like, no. I don't go there for the food. I go there for the coffee. But the point is if you're still spending money there, that still counts in the fast food revenue. So they're raking in the
Yeah,
dough.
I don't think anyone voted for you because you're Starbucks, but it's okay.
Well,
Yeah, no, they just saw
they
Chick-fil-A
certainly
and they
voted for me for some reason.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A was...
Whether or not it was Starbucks or not, we'll never know. But all I'm saying is, I want fair and square.
You did.
That's the
and-
worst I've done on a poll right there, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, you got a low
You got
11%.
an 11%.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
And I got the second place right there.
that's
as
actually
always.
not the worst you've done on a
No,
poll.
no, actually, can I help
No.
you? I think it was worse. And
Introduce that one
I
for
thought
us.
that one was fun. All right, so the poll before that we did, what do you say when someone knocks on the bathroom stall door? And the winner on that one was yes.
Yes. Yeah, I clearly that was a tighter race.
I'm actually surprised that yes won. I thought that someone's in here
Yeah.
was going to win just
So
for
I
the
think-
comedy of it.
Here's the thing, though. I think the way that it's written, like if you just looked at the poll and didn't listen to the podcast,
That's true.
It just looks like someone's in here.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the yes is written in a way where I do think it is a little more attractable.
Right.
But
That's
there
why
was
it's
no
so-
other way to gussy up. Someone's in here.
Well, and that's why
just
it's
by
so,
typing it.
That's
Yeah.
why it's so important for everyone to listen to our podcast and subscribe.
You are right.
So
You were so
And
right.
rate and review.
absolutely.
That helps. And the more that people do this, listen, we've got a little something going for our local listeners. Little extra discount you can get, but we'd love to have something that is for all listeners.
Absolutely.
The only way to get there is for people to hit
Like a
the
Jimmy John's thing. Or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah. Or a Starbucks. Come on, Starbucks. So, anyways, the only way that we get
Still
there,
get their food.
yeah, just don't get the just get the coffee though.
Yeah.
It is good. But the only way we get there is if people rate, review, and hit the subscribe button on there. That helps us a lot. Download, listen, and share it with somebody. Pick somebody you know that their life is just garbage, and they
Right.
need a little pick me up.
Yeah.
And we'll give them the shoot from the hip, and then there they go.
You know what's going to be funny about that? They're going to be like, you need to listen to this podcast. And they hear you say, man, your life is just garbage.
Let me just tell you, your life is garbage. Listen to us.
If someone shared this podcast with you, it's because your life is garbage. That's what you need to take from that.
Listen,
Oh,
friend, let me
man.
do you a salad here. Your life is terrible. All right, so the first one that we posted, though, was the Disney princess fight to the death. What a great topic.
Yeah.
And that was by far our closest poll. And Matt pulled out a slight victory there
Right.
over Lancer and I, who were...
That was our most popular poll, too.
yeah, we were
so far.
almost tied, Lancer and I.
I think we were tied. It just rounded me
It
up.
rounded you up?
Yeah, I think we were because I got that 29%.
How do you get rounded up though if we're tied?
I think it's because I was higher. Mine was ahead of yours.
You just
Maybe.
have to be better.
Yeah, it's just that much. That little bit better.
Twitter voted,
Yes.
and they chose to round.
Jack Dorsey personally
He
oversees those
personally
ties.
rounded up Lancer for the win there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Milan. Milan was the clear choice in that
Yeah.
poll.
Yeah.
and I felt like whoever got her, like,
Is pretty close to a clear
yeah,
one.
I mean,
on that.
we were really trying to like sell our other candidates.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do, especially with the third pick in that draft.
So,
I mean,
so let me just tell our audience my disappointment and just voice this real quick because you were at Disney. Is it Disney World?
Yes.
Sorry, I
Yes.
always mix them up. Disney World.
I was
Not
there.
that long after this poll went up,
no, and I did not grab a selfie with a princess.
not a single princess.
In all
selfie.
fairness,
Especially not Aurora.
Yeah, you talked really highly about Aurora.
she's my main lady, but
Were you just
I did
worried
not
about
have-
your wife getting jealous?
no, because I mean, I think she would have wanted a picture too.
yeah.
But in all fairness, we were trying to grab a picture with Pocahontas, and my wife grew up when she was a little girl loving Pocahontas. And right as we got there to take a picture, it was like her break time, and we had an event that we had to be at at a certain time, and so it just didn't work out. We were actually pretty bummed about it.
Yeah.
But, saw a lot of the the original Mickey Mouse and all the classic characters.
Now, what would have been great is if you could have like grabbed each of your picks and pulled them all together.
Oh
in
god,
one
that would've been
spot.
great.
a groupie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been legit.
That'd
That
be
would have been really difficult to do.
Oh, man. Yeah, I missed the boat there. So,
Yeah.
anyways, go to Twitter, follow us at Hip Shot Podcast. You can vote on the draft polls and other insane things that we put up. Sometimes we even notify you when a podcast drops. That's always a good
Occasionally.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
every once in a while.
rare, but whenever we do, you can follow us on there. You can follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram. We may choose to post something at some point in time on there. But hey, go ahead.
I've like meant
When we get to 100
something.
followers on Instagram, we'll post our first picture.
I'm about to take
So-
a selfie right here.
So go ahead and follow us on all three of those. All right, here we go. We're gonna
yeah.
we're gonna smile
Take
right
that
now.
live.
There we
my
go.
phone just went weird. If I can get in it.
Okay, this is great radio.
There we go.
So we
I
just took
didn't
a
even smile
picture.
for it.
It's probably blurry. We're gonna post on Instagram, but go follow us.
Yes.
and you can keep up with what we're doing on the socials. All right, little would you rather?
Yeah, we're gonna
Action, some
do
would you
we're gonna
rather.
do
You guys actually
something
want to
now.
do a podcast
Yeah,
now?
let's
All
do
right,
it,
let's do it.
this.
Let's do a podcast. All right, little would you rather. We're kicking it off today, and guys, I've got a tough one for you right off the bat here.
Okay.
Good.
Would you rather always have chapped lips or a runny nose? Now, this is, according to my wife, it's different for guys and girls.
Interesting.
Because I think the makeup thing and the lips are a big deal, you know? So I'm going to throw my answer out there is I don't think I can go day in and day out wiping snot. It just grosses me out. And I hate chapped lips, but I think I might just bear with it just to avoid the snot factor.
Okay, so yeah, you're right because this is tough. I would be okay with the chapped lips as long as it didn't get in that corner of your mouth.
Ooh.
Where like it.
Yeah,
Oh, where every
yeah.
time you open it, it kind
It
of
just-
cracks.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, as long as it
That's pretty
stays
rough.
out of there, I would just totally choose the chapped lips. But
Here's the, I probably live with chapped lips on a regular basis.
you already do.
Because
Yeah.
I don't use chapstick or anything. That's just non-existent. I don't do that stuff. And
I live by chapstick.
see,
It's
I
in my
do
pocket
not.
every day because I'm afraid of chapped lips.
See,
It bothers me.
I lick my lips.
That makes it worse.
I know.
How does that help?
Yeah.
You have like magical saliva?
So I've heard something about some chapsticks as well, in that they have an alcohol chemical to it or something, which will also dry out your lips.
Right.
After.
It actually, yes. So it's like
So-
it forms an addiction within your
Right.
lips for more chapstick.
Right.
Interesting.
So you have to use something with beeswax or whatever.
Yeah. So Burt's Bees.
Yeah. I mean, you can use some of.
This stuff is expensive though.
It is expensive.
It's
the,
nuts.
the lip balm game is strong, but I mean, what else do you do if your nose is continually runny?
You suck it up your nose, like you just do the sniffing, and then it goes down your throat
What
and you
if you're
spit
in a-
it out.
I was gonna say, do you have to? What if you're in a position where you can't spit it out?
Oh,
What if you're in church?
Just spit it in your hand.
I mean, you swallow it, I guess.
Oh,
And then it adds to the mucus in your stomach, so it's really covering up your ulcers and things like that,
Yeah, there
right?
you go.
So,
There you go.
I mean, it's just all like it's all a cycle.
okay.
Yeah,
So
that's what you do with
here's
your
something else to
saliva anyway.
consider though. If you're trying to avoid chapped lips by going with the runny nose, and you start getting into the tissue game, how long before that nose becomes chapped? Because it's
Ooh,
probably
yeah.
not
Good
long,
point.
right?
That's
Good
very
point.
true. Yeah, bump that.
I mean, your nose.
I was
you're going to
already
be
going
Rudolph
for
the
chapped
red-nosed
lips.
reindeer.
Yeah.
Wiping your nose.
I was already going for chapped lips, but that seals the
That's-
deal.
Yeah, you just made my decision. You're
Because
right.
that's my least favorite part about having a runny nose is
when your nose gets raw from literally
yeah.
running all the time and you're trying to
wiping it
control
too much. Yeah.
Have you ever used those tissues with like my air quotes lotion
Oh yeah.
in it and it's supposed to be like soothing? There's no difference.
Not really.
There's zero difference. Whoever came up with that, you're a moron because there's no difference.
My wife would
And how I feel.
probably fight you on that one, but I'm a whatever.
I try it and it's like it doesn't help.
Yeah.
I mean, the only other thing I can think you can do is
Makes you feel better.
peace of mind.
Ooh, lotion.
So, what if you take a tissue and you like roll it up and shove it up in your nose
And just leave it there.
and just leave it there?
I mean, it's the same as your nose being stuffed. Like it's
It's a nose tampon.
Oh god.
I'm sorry.
Well, like if you have a bloody nose, you have to.
yes,
You could do that too.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
So
Tampons are the way to go for a bloody nose like that.
yeah, I mean, you got to go something super absorbent. But I mean,
Or a broken nose. I mean,
Yeah.
that's legitimately a thing. Lance
the-
is losing it.
Oh wow.
in theory, trying to rein it in here. In theory,
Sorry, I took that in a weird direction.
in theory, if you did that, you could change it out whenever you went to the bathroom, though, and no one would really know, right?
Are you ready?
Referring
you're not
to,
reining it
I'm
in.
trying to help here, and it's not helping. Referring to taking a piece of tissue and shoving it up in your nose to prevent runny noses. I can't believe I'm the adult in the room here, but I'm trying my best. This thing's off the rails, and we're only
I
like
need a
10.
tissue now.
We've got a perpetually runny nose during a podcast. It's going to be a lot of sniffing. So let's move on to a different question.
I got one.
Because I think we've all agreed.
Yeah, Matt.
We're just all going to go with chapped lips, right?
Yes, chap lips.
Problem solved.
All right.
Would you rather eat cake flavored pizza or pizza flavored cake?
Oh, cake flavored pizza or pizza flavored cake.
Yes.
Oh,
So
Talk about a weird one.
yeah. Okay. I got a little bit of a direction on this one, right?
All right.
So there is cheesecake, and cheese is on pizza.
right.
So maybe if you throw a little
I'm with you.
pepperoni on your cheesecake, that's like pizza flavored cake.
Right.
So that might be the direction that
Oh,
I would
let
be
me
going.
let me lean in with
Okay.
you here. Some pizza, not saying it's my favorite, has fruit on it.
Okay.
Little
Yeah.
pineapple type pizza.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So if we're doing the cheesecake,
That's a real
Throw-
contentious discussion right
Yeah.
there. Hawaiian pizza. But anyway.
not a
keep
big
going.
fan of it personally.
I don't mind it, but
I don't mind it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to spend a bunch of money on it.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
kind of how I
That-
feel
That's
about
the one that you eat at the buffet.
it. Yeah. If I go to a buffet and there's
Yeah, yeah.
pizza there,
Uh-huh.
and or if
Which
I'm at
is
somebody's
rare.
house and they serve it to me,
Yeah.
it's going down to pipe.
Yeah.
But if I'm buying it, there's things I like better. Sure.
Okay.
But I don't dislike pineapple.
Yeah.
So to stay with our theme, if
Anyway.
we're okay, cheese, pineapple, pineapple upside down cake. Yeah, there are things that do include pineapple. So I'm leaning towards the pizza flavored cake.
Okay.
Other thing, have you ever had artificial cake flavored stuff? Like when they're like, for instance, somebody gave us cake flavored birthday cake Oreos. It's so gross. And the problem is my wife loves them.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's
We feel
pray
sorry
for
for
me.
you. Yeah, we feel sorry for you.
because I love Oreos. I've expressed that on the show before
Yeah.
how much I love Oreos. But cake flavored Oreos are gross because I think it's the artificial birthday cake manufacturing. It's
Yeah,
just, So I'm just thinking that's going to be included in pizza, which is something I love, and it's going to ruin something I love.
Yeah.
So cake, I'm actually like kind of lukewarm on cake. I'm not really hot on it, not really cold on it. I'll eat it, but it's not my favorite thing. But if it's pizza flavored, I'm a little bit intrigued now.
Okay.
Let's roll with that.
So you're going pizza flavored
I think
cake.
I'm going pizza flavored cake.
I'd go with the pizza flavored cake too.
Wow.
Really?
Because I'm not a sweets guy that much. Like I like some sweets things, but cake is just not one of them.
Could I argue?
So I'll go for that pizza flavored cake just for the I don't know, intrigue of it.
So could we argue that, for instance, a pizza casserole is a pizza flavored cake?
Is it?
I don't think I've had a pizza casserole.
I don't think I have either, but I know that
I like how you're bringing it up.
you could make one very easily because the dough is kind of the cake part of it, and then you're throwing cheese, you're throwing pepperoni in there, a little bit of sauce.
But here's
and you
the deal.
bake it.
It's not a pizza cake. It's a pizza flavored cake.
Okay,
So I'm not sure that counts.
even better.
It's
Because
weird.
it's all the flavors I like, but without the
it's
without
just
the
spongy.
texture of eating a pepperoni with my cake.
It's a really weird textured pizza.
Now, I'll say if they just flavored the cake like pizza, like Doritos flavors their Doritos like pizza flavor,
Yeah.
like just throw like flavoring
Then
in
half
there.
the cake doesn't have enough flavor on it.
Can I just say that
Yeah.
pizza flavored chips do not technically exist?
Yeah, how do you do
Pizza
that?
flavored chips do not taste like pizza.
No, they don't.
Like it's like the pepperoni pizza. What was it? Pringles.
Yeah.
Pringles had pizza flavor. It didn't taste like pizza.
No,
it just
they
tasted like a different flavored Pringle.
Are Pringles even real chips?
No.
Let's not get into that.
Wait, why are they not? Okay, yeah, let's not.
Because, well, it's like, who cuts a potato and it looks like a duck bill?
Yeah, no.
Like,
think
it's not a chip.
It's got to be like the way they bake it. Like they lay it on something.
No,
probably.
what they gotta do is they gotta like take potatoes and just totally like mash them up into just like mashed potato and then crimp them into potato or whatever chip
Whatever,
shapes.
yeah, whatever the
might do
shape
that,
is.
yeah.
I'm
It's
pretty sure
not-
that's how they do that.
They're not that great.
Nah.
They're just not.
They were great as a kid, but anyway, Lancer, you got another
Yeah,
would you rather?
I got a would you rather for you guys, and I think this is a really good one. Would you rather brush your teeth with hot sauce or with ranch dressing?
Oh.
Which one would you rather brush your teeth with?
Who thinks of this?
Oh man, that's oof.
Gosh, that's garbage.
I'm like tossed back and forth on this.
So
one.
here's the thing that I'm thinking of, right? Okay, so I'll just go and
I
throw
do
mine.
like both of those things, though.
Yeah.
They're both all right, but I think I would do ranch dressing.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing. I'm not a big hot sauce flavored person in
Yeah.
any way,
Mhm.
but I think that I think putting hot sauce on your toothbrush would just totally ruin your toothbrush also. It would soak in there and it would never leave.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you could probably get the ranch dressing out a little better.
So, here's my thought. One of the main reasons why I brush my teeth is to prevent flecks of things from staying in my teeth. The problem with ranch dressing is there's a lot of little flecks of stuff in ranch dressing. So
Yeah.
you run the risk of brushing your teeth with something that's got flecks of whatever that's going to stay in your teeth. And you may be able to clean the toothbrush, but you can get like 5 toothbrushes for like $1.
Yeah.
I could spend like $1.50 a week and get a brand new toothbrush every day. And that's actually probably better for my teeth because the bristles will be nice and firm. And plus, I'm going with the hot sauce because A, I don't have things in my teeth. B, I feel like, probably get the sinuses a little bit loosened up once you start brushing with a little hot sauce.
Yeah.
Get a little heat. It's good for your body to sweat, release the toxins, loosen up, the nasal cavity a little bit. I'm going with the hot sauce.
I'm going with ranch. And for a couple reasons. One is if you're brushing your teeth and you're scrubbing your gums with hot sauce, I feel like there's a good chance you're going to have some burning going on
Oh, that's a good point.
from that. But then the other thing is I feel like you have less of a chance of staining your teeth with ranch dressing than you do with hot sauce.
Just because it's white?
No, because of the acidity.
Okay.
So I think that like, well, I guess it depends on the hot sauce or whatever, but let's say it's Tabasco or something like that. You got like that reddish color, and then you have the acidity, and I feel like you're going to set it in.
Either way, we're
No, it's
doing the
one
opposite
time.
of cleaning our teeth.
Right. Yeah. Both are bad for your teeth. There's
And
no
you're
doubt.
doing the opposite of making your breath better.
And if there's a little bit of burning,
ways.
hey, that's just pain is weakness leaving the body.
If you punch yourself in the face, no, never mind.
I've heard that before. All right, what about this one? Would you, I love this question. Would you rather start every sentence with, hey, idiot, or end every sentence with, just kidding?
Ooh.
Oh, man. So think about this for a minute. If you start every sentence with, hey, idiot, you are going to be just a jerk face.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if you end every sentence with, just kidding, like you could never compliment somebody genuinely. You could never get married.
Will
Will you marry me?
Just
kidding.
No, seriously, just kidding.
Like, seriously.
Yeah, like nobody
Nobody get away with
You
it.
would be a crazy person, right? Like nobody would hang out with you because you're just a psychopath. Because everything is like, no, I'm being serious. Just kidding.
No, like, what if you were like just simple order your food? Hey, can I get a burger? Just kidding. Okay, well, what do you want? A burger.
A number 5.
Now,
just kidding.
Yeah.
It would still be pretty difficult to get married saying, hey, idiot, will you marry me?
Right, but I feel like you could break that barrier a little bit
yeah,
better by eventually. I mean,
It becomes like a playful thing. Hey, idiot. Okay.
Lancer,
well,
I would ask you about your wife. I don't mean to bring up a sore subject, but
It's fine.
Just a
Matt,
gaping hole in
I'll
his
talk-
soul.
I'll just be quiet over
I'll
here
ask
for a minute.
Matt on this.
yeah. Mhm.
When you met your wife, was this like a love at first sight? She just automatically fell for you?
No. When I
Did
met
it
her,
take
I
a
said
while?
no. When I met her, I said, "Hey, idiot."
Did she respond
No,
with
well,
a slap in the face?
yeah. And,
So
and then it was
my question though
love
is,
at
does it
first
take a
sight.
little bit while? Did it take a little while for her to
Oh
kind of?
yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, because sometimes people just instantly kind of fall for each other.
Yeah.
Wasn't the case with my wife.
No.
I had to do a little bit of work.
Yeah.
In order to
Well,
make.
I would imagine with a face like yours.
Yeah, I have a podcasting face. So, anyways, I think that the hey idiot after a while, like people will get used to it,
Yeah.
and like eventually people will understand. Yeah, I mean he's my friend. Yeah,
You would
it's
probably
annoying,
have
but-
better friends because of it.
Yeah, like you might actually weed out
Yeah.
kind of the borderline fringe
Right.
people,
Right.
and
Yeah.
actually get down to the nitty gritty.
But man, it would be annoying. Every
it would be
Hey,
so-
idiot.
It would be
Good gracious,
Yeah.
dude.
I mean, like, yes, it would be super annoying, but to end everything with just kidding.
Yeah.
What if you had a job interview and you wanted to ask some questions about it? And you'd be like, hey, I really want to know what the 401k
I'm
plan
really
is.
looking
Just
forward
kidding.
to working with you.
Hey,
Just
idiot.
kidding.
Or, hey, idiot, I really want to work for you. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I almost feel like the hey idiot is easier. As like, insulting as it is, it's almost easier to overcome.
You could be a great food critic.
Yes, you could. And people make a living on
Yeah, just kidding would not work as a food critic.
You would probably be a television reality star.
You know what? You just hit on something that made me think. If you chose just kidding, then you just always say the opposite of what you want.
No, yeah.
Like, I don't want to work for you. Just kidding. There you go. You got
I
a loophole
still don't
there.
you
think
go.
it works.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't know.
I think
how
people
high-
are like, yeah,
Yeah.
we're not going in this
Well,
direction.
in that sense, I would choose just kidding though.
Yeah.
Because then I could be like,
You could control it.
yeah, I don't want to marry you. Just kidding. Like, you got it.
Okay.
You could work it. You could work it the other way.
Yeah.
Do you have to start?
Will you not marry me? Just kidding. What?
Does this apply to texting? I feel like it would. Like every time you send a text to somebody,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
hey idiot.
There always has to be a JK.
Yeah, there's always a JK at the end. But I just feel like if people don't know how to take you, then
I'm still going.
You're never
I think
gonna
I'd
have.
go with hey idiot.
I think I'm going hey idiot too because I think eventually people will just say, yeah, he just says that. It's weird, it's stupid, it's annoying. But if you're like, hey idiot, I want to give you something nice for your birthday.
Yeah.
You're kind of like, all right, it's annoying, but I can give it. But if you're like, hey, I want to get you something for your birthday. Just kidding. You'd be like, I hate you so bad. So I feel like you would really, really wear thin on people's nerves for that way.
All right, so I've got another one, and this one's. I like this one. I can't claim it as my own.
I'm ready.
Would you rather shout louder the faster you're moving, or the happier you are?
This reminded me of I think it was Will Ferrell on Saturday Night Live where he can't control his voice. He's all like, "Have you ever tried to whisper your baby to sleep?"
I just like the visual of like someone like jogging and then as they run faster.
We kind of do that already, though, don't we? Like, have you ever, have you ever fallen down a hill? This is gonna sound like a dumb question, but like, you do get louder as the faster you go.
Like,
Or if you're on a
as
roller
you're falling
coaster.
down the hill, yelling "As you wish."
Yeah, like on a roller coaster, volume goes way up because you're moving fast.
Yeah.
You're in a convertible, you're probably going fast, volume goes way up.
Yeah.
So I'm going with the faster you go because I think we already kind of do that.
You'd be so annoying on an airplane, though. Just constantly screaming.
I didn't think about that.
That one guy is just screaming the whole time.
You're just in the back. Whoa! The whole
And they're
better hope you're not flying
you
the
have
whole
to, you
way."
have to get out.
Where are they going to put you, though? You can't go in the bathroom
They
and
give you
scream
a
'cause that's
parachute
weird.
and say "See ya."
You're going to be in the cargo hold before it's all said and done. Didn't think about that. You ever see the
That's
movie
really
Rocket?
funny.
Did you ever see the movie Rocket Man?
Oh, this has been so long. Yeah.
When he's like in the he's in like the simulator and he's just flying around. He's like, faster! And eventually his seat unbolts because he's going so fast and he flies through the wall. I feel like that'd be me. Just the faster I go, I'm jacking the volume up. I'm still going with that though.
I think
I may have to skip the plane rides though.
I really honestly, when I was thinking of it, I wasn't thinking of the faster you're moving, period. I was thinking of the faster that like you're making yourself move. So like the faster you're moving, I didn't consider like flying in a plane or driving in
So
a car.
this only applies to like
that's-
running? So
Yeah.
if you're not going to take that though, the converse side of that would be you have to act like you're not having fun when you're having fun. Otherwise, you're going to start getting really obnoxiously loud, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So if something's like really funny and you're at like a comedy show, you have to just sit there and be like, yeah, you're either like the loudest cackler there,
the
or
thing
you gotta
is-
act like it's not funny.
The thing is, it's shout louder too. So it's not just like your volume picks up. It's just that you're shouting louder.
Yeah, you can't lean over to your wife and say, I got to use a restroom because everybody in the whole place is going to hear you say that.
yeah.
Now, can you control your happiness, or is it just like?
Well, that's
That's
a
a good
very
point.
philosophical question.
Yeah, I feel like we're on the wrong podcast for that. But because if you could, then it's a little different. If
Yeah.
it's just like whenever you're starting to feel good, you start shouting loud.
I feel like we would just be shouting on
there
this
would
podcast.
be a lot of inadvertent shouting going
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
I might choose the shouting or for happiness. I might choose that one just because I know everyone gets a little louder when they're happier.
Yeah.
Like their volume
Yeah,
isn't really controlled as well, so you kind of blend in a little
Yeah.
bit, but
Yeah.
you might be the louder one. Of
You're
them,
not
so.
you're not just screaming on an airplane.
I'm screaming on the plane.
unless you're watching something really funny on the airplane.
Oh,
Then you might be shouting on the
Oh
airplane.
man, yeah. What if you're like going somewhere and you're really happy that you're going there on an airplane, and then you're screaming?
Then you better think about something really
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah, you better turn on like a horror flick or something and just try to like bring your mood down.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna jump into a little hate and great.
Yes.
And
Yep.
this is going to be a fun one. It is characteristics we hate in everyday people and characteristics we think are great in everyday people. And I hate to admit this since it is a hate segment, but my hate list is longer than my great list. And some people have been ticking me off lately, apparently.
Yeah.
So I'll start this off, and I'm gonna start with one thing I hate, and we'll just go around and we'll try to make this as quick as possible. We won't have to elaborate too much. We're a little crunched for time, but all right. So things that I hate in everyday people. I hate when people talk too loud in restaurants.
Okay.
So I don't. Recently, little story for the hipsters. Recently, my wife and I went out for Valentine's Day last month, and we're in this nice. I know. Yeah, set the mood. We're in this nice, romantic Italian restaurant. Great food, beautiful setting, but it's a small restaurant. So
Was it Olive Garden?
not the garden. Thanks, Matt, for trying to trash my
Maggiano's,
character. Not Maggiano's.
Yeah, no.
This is it's a chef run place.
Yeah.
But the tables are really close together in a small restaurant. So you're uncomfortably close to the person next to you, in my opinion. And the girl next to us was just like, if you're listening to this podcast, you're the worst, because she was talking so loud, and she was like, you remember when we had this in Rome? It was so good. And you're just like, we can all hear you. We're right. I can literally reach over and grab your pasta with my hand. Like, I'm that close. Shut up.
Yeah.
Talk quieter. It's so annoying. Like, and obviously she's not talking to the person she's with. She's not talking to her boyfriend or, her ex-boyfriend by now if he was smart. She's not talking to that person. She's trying to talk to everybody around her while talking to them. And it's just like, shut up.
That feeds into one of the things I hate about people. It's not the one on my list, but it does feed into it. People don't have self-awareness of what they're around and how they're being just annoying to everybody.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to just be being loud in a restaurant. It could be driving slow in the fast lane on the road. You don't want to do that because you're inconveniencing everybody, or walking in a mall in front of everybody, or just stopping in front of it. Like, be aware of your surroundings.
Well, some people have like a really resonant voice that they can't not be a little bit louder than everyone else. But some people take it to that next level.
Yeah.
And you're just like, all right, chill out, man. You're obnoxious.
So, piggybacking on that, if I can drop another one real quick.
Oh, man.
That goes with both of Lancer
Is that
and I's.
allowed?
Kind of. People that walk around and talk on their speakerphone.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
that annoys the junk out of me. I don't understand why people do it. Like, if you would literally stop doing that, like, people are always like, "What'd you say?" I'm like, dude, there's an earpiece.
Yeah.
Right.
Use the earpiece, and you'll actually be able to hear. And guess what? Everyone will still know that you have a cell phone and you're talking on it. Because I don't know what other reason you walk around talking on speaker.
Yeah.
Other than to be like, hey, everybody, I'm important because I've got this phone that I can hold my hand and talk on it.
Yes.
Right.
If you hold it up to your ear, guess what? We'll all know. You're still talking on a phone.
Yeah.
Hey, newsflash, all of our phones do that. You're not even special.
Why do we do that?
Like,
I don't know. I've seen people walking down the sidewalk doing
Yes.
that. And I don't
like
get
in the
that.
middle of a city, and you're
Yeah.
like, you could hear 100 times better if you just turned off the speaker and put it up to your ear.
Yeah, I don't get that either. So
Oh, it's
someone's
so
gonna have to
weird.
explain that to us in a DM or something.
Yeah, please. Somebody tell us why people do this. It's annoying.
All right. So one of the ones that I have for characteristics that I hate, when someone doesn't clear their throat and just tries to talk through it.
Just tries to push through it.
Holy moly! When you just hear that little.
I'm trying to reduplicate it, and I can't.
Yeah, I can almost do it right now because I've been neglecting clearing my throat this whole time because I don't want to make too much noise.
Do you catch yourself clearing your throat for them? Like,
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Like just do it. Especially when it's like a news anchor. For some reason, it seems like it's either a news anchor or a politician. They just love to just have that like gunk in the back of their throat, and they're just like, just like clear it.
so
I
true.
hate that.
no, that's true. That is gross. You know what I hate in people? I hate when they brag about themselves all the time to the point to where, they're always the hero, or they always want you to know that they know everything.
Yes.
So,
You know what's fun
those are
is
terrible.
when they're like a habitual liar like that, because you
Yeah.
can have some fun with those people.
Oh, yeah.
I got some stories for that, but that'll be another podcast because that's a long story.
I've had people who are, quote, know-it-alls, and they will be telling me about something, and as they're talking to me or whoever's around, I'm like fact-checking them on my phone or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, you're just a total liar right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Like,
So can I tell a funny story on that? Real quick, there was a homeless guy that showed up at our church the other day, and he showed up like late at night, and we were all getting out of church, and he's out in the parking lot. I'm like, man, do you have anywhere to stay? He's like, no, I don't. And so I'm like, man, I'll run you down the hill here and get you a hotel room.
yeah.
And so I take him in the truck, and I'm running him down. I'm kind of getting a little bit of the backstory, and his name was like Ed White was what he said his name was, and Edward White. And he's like, yeah, E.B. White, the writer. He's like, yeah, it's me. I'm like, And I'm just like, I'm filling out the paperwork for the hospital. Not the
Wait, isn't
hospital.
E.B. White the one who did Charlotte's Web?
It is the person who writes Charlotte's Web.
That's a woman.
Correct. No, I don't believe
Isn't
it is.
it?
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not. Never mind.
But it gets good. Hang on.
Okay.
So I'm like filling out the hotel slip and everything and giving my
Did you
credit.
just pause mid?
And
like
I didn't
mid-sentence?
pause, but I was kind of like, really? He's like, oh yeah, children's author. I'm like, okay. And so I just keep like writing. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. I get back in the car after I drop him off and
That
look it up.
person's dead.
E.B. White died in like 85.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you kidding me?
Yes.
Come on, man.
He
Tried
wanted
just
you to
punk
think
me
he
with
died.
that.
He wanted you to think that. He faked
I'm
himself.
still alive. In fact, my name is Elvis Presley.
And he
you may have heard of
he
me.
was dead serious.
He was just 100% dead serious.
That's nuts.
That's great.
Wow.
Here's one other thing I hate is I hate passive aggressiveness in people.
Okay.
When like if you wanna say
That's
something,
pretty popular nowadays.
it is super popular these days, especially with people in our age bracket,
in social
millennials.
media and stuff like that.
Yes.
And texting. And,
We live in the day and age where
because it's easy to avoid people.
correct, but it's like sneak dissing everybody.
Yeah.
But you actually don't want to come out and say it, and you don't want to confront it, and you don't want to be truthful about it, but I want you to know that I dislike you, and so I'm just going to sneak diss you.
Yeah.
And the passive aggressive, like in people, drives me nuts. And it's like, look, you got something to say, let's just say it. Because chances are, I probably got a few things to say to you too. But the whole passive aggressive nature that we got going on,
Yeah.
oh man,
Now,
I can't stand it.
Do y'all feel like there's a thin line between passive aggressive and sarcasm? Like you can kind of float between the two in a way, I think.
Yeah.
So,
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess the trick is don't be sarcastic in a jerk way.
Yeah.
And a lot of people play that line, and it's just don't be a jerk and be sarcastic. You can be sarcastic and be funny or humorous.
Right.
Don't be a jerk and be sarcastic.
Right.
That's a different line. Don't do that.
It's almost one of those things where sarcasm, it doesn't work over a text message or email, so don't try it.
Yeah.
Because
No.
you can't feel, you can't see the.
That's
you kind of have to read
that's where
their
people
face.
did that whole asterisk
Sarc-
sarcasm
yeah,
in between.
You got to do that because it's just you can't read the room or anything like
Yeah.
that. But with somebody's demeanor, if they're going to be sarcastic, you can kind of tell if they're smiling and they're just kind of razzing you.
Yeah.
But if you can't tell that, then they are being passive aggressive, and you're like, okay, you're just taking a shot over the bow at me.
Yeah.
Like if you got something to say it.
Yeah.
Don't just make some passive aggressive thing. Maybe
Right.
we should move on to some things we actually
Yeah,
love.
yeah,
about
let's
why
talk
do we
about-
like them?
I gotta
things we love about people.
I got
Nothing.
one. Witch laughs.
Witch laughs. You like the witch laugh?
I love it when people have just like a ridiculous laugh. Then you hear them, and you're just like, that's
Wow.
a good laugh.
That's legit.
That would totally be on my hate list though.
And see, the thing that I love about it is that they're oblivious to how terrible their laugh is, which I don't have a good laugh. I know how like cringy my laugh is just because I've heard it on podcasts. But like I love it when they don't know how bad their laugh is, and you kind of want to tell them, but you can't.
Right.
So all you could do is just kind of chuckle every time they laugh.
Yeah. And that's not a
I
bad
love
thing.
those.
That's not
Oh,
a bad
yeah.
thing.
No,
because their laughter makes other people laugh.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
I think it's
I
hilarious.
don't know, man, but when they sneak that witch laugh up on you, it kind of scares you a little bit.
It
If they're
can,
right next to you.
So I have an aunt who has a hardcore like witch laugh, and we make fun of her incessantly about it, and it's great. She's a good sport about it and stuff, but I think it's great. I love that stuff.
oh man. One of the things that I love about people, this is going to seem super weird, is neat penmanship.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I really I don't have what I consider to be neat penmanship, but
Yeah.
I have very legible handwriting.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to make this a hate part, but I dislike when adults have handwriting so poor that I can't read it.
Yeah. Okay. I have a coworker like that.
Like, I mean, it's
I
like
was trying to decide how specific to be.
you're an adult.
Never
I mean,
look at
yeah.
my notebooks.
You know
Oh
what I
my
mean?
gosh.
If it's legible, fine. But I
Yeah.
mean, I've had adults give me paper with like, "Hey, I wrote this down. Can you look over it?" Or they'll slip
It's
you-
one thing
they'll
if
slip
it's
you-
shorthand for yourself. It's another thing if it's
yeah,
like
but
ugliness
shorthand
that you're handing to someone
shorthand
else.
can even be with neat, somewhat
Yeah.
legible penmanship.
Yeah.
But it's like they're writing words, but I can make out a letter or two, but it's just scribbles, and it's not just a signature. So I don't get that.
I grew up writing cursive better than my print. And that was just, it was the way that I was taught. I actually think I learned cursive before I learned print,
Right.
which is
Crazy.
interesting.
That is strange.
But my lower cases and stuff like that were terrible because I would have uppercase in my lower cases with print. And so I wrote cursive way better. And then I switched to doing all caps with my writing.
Is that what you still do?
That's what I still do now.
I write all caps too.
Wow.
And it looks way better.
Yeah. Do you write all caps?
no,
Answer?
I don't.
Yeah.
I do it correctly. So.
Okay, so using what we like to call the right way. So let me ask you, do you have what you consider to be decent penmanship?
No, I got bad penmanship. I sometimes look at what I write and think, I'm the only person that can read this.
So here is the one thing though, is that I don't know if you would echo this, Matt. When you write in all caps, there's generally only one way to write that letter.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a definite way that you write the letter. So even if you don't have great penmanship, it slows you down a little bit in your writing of how fast you're able to write, but your legibility goes way up.
Yes.
Instantly.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
if you haven't done it before, just slow down, try to write a little smaller letter than what you're used to, but write all caps and start working on it. It takes a little while to get into the habit.
Yeah.
But when you do...
I switched in 10th grade.
I switched probably, not too long ago, a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And I write in all caps, and I do find it is more legible.
Yeah.
I can't write as fast, but I'm not really doing speed writing. And even then, like you said,
I
you can
can
do a
write
little.
pretty
You
quick.
can do a little shorthand. And like I said, you've been doing it since 10th grade. I've been doing it a couple years.
Yeah.
So probably the longer I do it, I'll continue to speed up.
Sometimes for fun, I'll try to do notes and things in cursive and try to keep up with it. And I can do it pretty well. My cursive is pretty decent.
Oh, mine's terrible.
Just about all the cursive letters I know are the letters in my name. That's about all I can remember because that's how little I've written cursive.
Some people don't have that.
Yeah, you're right.
You take the SAT, you find out how many kids didn't learn cursive. And you're like, you can't sign your signature. You can't put your signature on this thing.
Yeah.
It's real bad.
It's rough, yeah. But try writing in caps. Just give it a test run,
Yeah.
and see. You might find that it actually shores up the legibility
We
a
will
little bit.
convert you.
Have you seen anyone do good calligraphy as you're watching them do it?
My wife can do calligraphy.
That's some of the coolest stuff to
My
look
wife
at. It
is
really
actually learning to do
Really?
calligraphy.
See,
Yeah.
my wife can do really good calligraphy, and she's quite good.
Does your wife have really neat penmanship?
Yeah. I mean,
My wife's penmanship is on point, but she's
Yeah.
a cursive writer,
gotcha.
and it looks like super nice. And I'm
Yeah.
like, gosh, mine is garbage.
Why
compared
is
to
it that girls tend to have better handwriting than guys, especially going up through school? They always have those bubbly letters and stuff that
it's-
just
it's
look
like the
nicer.
fluidity of it is way better.
Some guys pull it off, but it's mostly girls that
I think
pull
they
it off.
care more, honestly. I think they
Yeah.
guys don't
Like
care.
it's a better
they-
reflection of them.
Yeah, they're like a guy's just I put down what I'm supposed to put down.
Yeah, it's
I'm done.
utilitarian.
Yeah. And the girls are like, well, I want it to look good too. That.
I
Yeah.
think
That's
you're
just
right.
how,
Yeah,
that's how they are with everything.
It's got to be a feminine
Yeah.
thing.
That's why they take care of their hair and
Sexist.
put on nice clothes and whatnot. Guys don't care as much.
Guys just go bald.
Yeah, just, don't iron their clothes, whatever.
Lancer, do you have anything you love in people?
Okay, you know what I love in people? I love the dumb person who's always really happy and just oblivious. I love that person because you walk around them and you're like, man, you just because they're happy,
Yeah.
and they make you happy, and they're always grateful to learn something because they don't know anything. So I love
Okay.
that dumb surfer guy.
So
you know?
so yeah, I would add that little caveat in there is that they're willing to learn too, because when it's a dumb person that just won't learn.
Then they're a fool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then
yeah.
I'm like step away.
You're insufferable.
Yeah, but the dumb person who's just happy about everything.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
I think it's the happy part that I really like.
The positive attitude. sort
Yeah,
of
the
outlook.
positive attitude is good, but the fact that they're also dumb along with it kind of makes you laugh at them a little bit.
So
Sometimes.
so Lancer is happy to hang out with all you dumb happy people.
Yeah.
Any of you hipsters running low on the IQ, just DM
IQ.
Lancer.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
On the IQ. That could be me. What do you know? We should hang out.
Why do you think I'm here, guys?
So to tag onto that real quick, I like when people are genuine. Like when they're comfortable in their own skin.
Yeah.
There's certain scenarios where I don't know if you guys experience this, but I don't even know if I'm comfortable in my own skin in certain scenarios.
Yeah. Right.
I have my comfort zones, obviously, but there's some people, they can be anywhere. They can be anywhere and they're comfortable in their own skin. And I'm like, I admire that. And I don't know if it's like an overly self-aware thing or what.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm like, man, these people are really... it doesn't matter where they are. They are themselves. They're genuine. You know what you're going to get. And I admire that in people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Even if I don't always like everything about them, the fact that they are willing to be them.
What's that honesty thing?
Yeah. Like they're not afraid to be who they are anytime, anywhere.
Right.
That's what I think is great in everyday people.
So I think you'll appreciate this one. Something that I really like is ambition. And that's
a good one.
I say that you would like it just because you have enough teens to understand teens without ambition and teens with ambition. And that's something that I really noticed and focused on with kids in just high school when I was growing up, was the kids that were really smart and had zero ambition.
Right.
And so they didn't do well in school. But there were times when they were kids where I was like, you're smarter than I am. But I'm making the A's and you're making the C's and D's. And I don't get that. And that always blew my mind. And it's just that little ambition level. Yeah. And I'm not saying that I'm a super ambitious person, because there are times when I'm like, come on, I have to kick myself in the rear.
Right. I think we all do. But Lancer, you could probably speak to this even better than me since you teach.
Yeah.
But I don't see many teenagers with a lot of ambition. They're hard to find these days.
They are fewer and far more between. But you're right. It is like me and all the teachers, man. We talk about it. We would 1,000 times rather have a bunch of kids who aren't that smart but try really hard.
Yeah.
Than have the really smart kids who don't try hard.
Yes.
What's the saying? Hard work beats talent every time when talent doesn't work hard. So that's exactly what it is, man. Like I teach some kids, man. Honestly, they're not that smart, but man, they try.
Yeah,
and they always end up better. They always do.
I really think that's interesting, though, because how many times have you heard "work smarter, not harder"?
Yeah, and that's not necessarily true.
I don't think that I personally don't buy that statement.
Yeah,
because given the choice between the two, I'd always rather be the harder worker.
Yeah.
And I think you're more employable if you're willing to work. If you're willing to work hard, then you're willing to learn.
Yeah.
You may not be the smartest bulb in the box, but if you can stay up later and grind longer, you will outlast your competition.
Yeah, yeah.
So if people say, "Hey, work smarter, not harder," generally what I found is that's somebody who's trying to get out of work by trying to take a path of least resistance.
Yeah.
And if you would just pound out the work, you would get it done faster
Yeah.
if you would just do whatever's hard and just knock it out. And have you guys ever done concrete? Have you ever done any concrete work? So
no.
I did a little bit of concrete work, and I know we're getting close to our time on this. But
All right.
Yeah.
if you do concrete work, it's crazy because sometimes you're like, okay, today we got to pour patio,
Yeah.
right? And that's our job for the day.
Piece of cake.
You go to pour that patio
pizza.
and cake flavored pizza. So you go to pour that patio. It's super intense work, but you're like done for the day in 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's a really intense 3 hours, but you're done, and you
Yeah.
get paid for a full day, and you're done for the day. And I'm like, that's actually, it doesn't always work like that. There's
Right.
days where it's a hassle and it takes a long
Sounds like
time.
you're working smarter now. Well, you're doing both.
But it's like it is smarter,
Yeah.
but
it's also harder.
but it's very intense labor. There's no way to get around it. It's
Yeah.
going to be really hard.
Yep.
You can't outsmart it.
Yeah.
You just have to work your butt off. Is
Yeah.
all you have to do. But if you're willing to push through it and just pound it out for a couple of hours,
Yeah.
you're going to have a really good product. You're going to get home early. You're going to get paid nice.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? The reason we have light bulbs is because somebody was willing to keep working, not because they were just so insanely, so insane smarter than everybody. Although Edison was a genius,
Because they had a modicum of ambition.
correct?
Modicum.
They were not willing to quit. They were willing to keep pressing forward.
Yeah.
And
It's got so inspirational.
Man, yeah.
I know. We've
America. I just want to stand up and salute right now.
do you have the national anthem on there
wish I
somewhere?
did. No.
Yeah, anyways, the ambition thing, I 100% that.
Yeah.
I do respect that in people. Even if they're a little misguided.
Yeah.
As long as they've got ambition and they're working towards something,
Right.
you can eventually point that the right direction, and those people will be fine.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree with that.
All right. Well, hopefully everyone's got a little bit of ambition out of this. But if you're listening today, we really appreciate it. Thank you for listening. Be sure to go ahead and subscribe to SoundCloud, iTunes, whatever you want to listen to. We're on a few different platforms. I think we're on TuneIn now, maybe. I haven't checked to see if for sure, but we should be on
so
TuneIn.
awesome.
And then I'm still trying to get on iHeartRadio. I don't know what's going on with that. But if you find us on SoundCloud, it's at SoundCloud.
We do not iHeartRadio.
Not yet.
they're not on my good side yet. All right, so if you want to find us on SoundCloud, it's soundcloud.com/Shoot From The Hip podcast. iTunes, it's Shoot From The Hip, so you can find us there.
Yeah.
And be sure to go ahead and rate and review too. That'll help us out a ton.
Yeah. Spread the word, too. I mean, the more people listening, the better it is for us, the more content we can provide. So if you like it, share it.
And then, like we talked about at the beginning of the podcast, we are on Twitter at HipShot Podcast, and we do have those polls going up. I should be putting up a poll. I should be putting up a poll for the food fight.
Oh, yeah.
That should be a good poll.
I should get first place in that one.
We'll find out. I actually got some
Suspect.
really good feedback on that one. But anyway, then we also are on Facebook at facebook.com/Shoot From The Hip podcast. So be sure to follow us over there, and we'll put up some posts over there, some questions, some polls, something for you guys to get involved with. And then we're also on Instagram, sort of. We're over there. We just don't post anything.
I got a picture now to post.
But you can follow us.
It's posting in your mind.
Yeah, so you can find us at HipShot Podcast. All right, well, thank you once again for listening to this podcast. We look forward to seeing you next time.